Oh, look, it's your nieces that you're leaving. Look at them. You really have to go to extremes to find a job anymore. With the amount of unemployment that is out there, you really have to move to North Dakota or someplace that has a boom like the boom town of Williston, North Dakota.
Williston, North Dakota, the Bakken oil boom is kind of a shining light to the rest of the country.
Under these mountains lie the Bakken Shale, 143,000 square miles of oil-filled rock that straddles the Montana-North Dakota border and stretches into Canada.
This little vial is really what it's all about. It's the finest, sweetest crude oil that exists in the world.
In the summer of 2005, North Dakota was the 8th largest oil producing state. Today it's number 2. It's already passed OPEC member Ecuador in terms of production, and it's closing in on another OPEC member, Qatar.
But state and local governments face a challenge. How much do you build when an oil boom may one day bust?
Everybody in North Dakota is concerned about getting overextended.
We're spending a lot more time buffering our local economies against what would happen if 80% of these people left in a year or two.
I don't know if we're so much rocking in the Bakken as the Bakken is rocking North Dakota.
Millions of barrels of oil are rolling out of North Dakota each year, and thousands of job-hungry Americans are rolling in, drawn to oil industry gigs that pay an average of $90,000 a year. The population of Williams County, home to Williston, has doubled in the past decade to more than 30,000 residents, and even that's not enough to keep pace with the boom.
There's just not enough people and infrastructure here, and so we've had to bring more people in from around the country, and it's created some pressure on housing and roads and traffic and crime.
Williston's kind of like you're remodeling your kitchen. It's pretty stressful. You're doing your dishes in the bathtub, you're cooking on a hot plate. It's not the most ideal situation. This intersection, over 1 year's time, it grew from roughly 9,000 vehicles a day to over 28,000.
There are about 9 job openings here for every person looking. To draw talent, the Williston Walmart pays upwards of $17 an hour for a starting position. Many companies slap on signing bonuses ranging from $300 to $1,000 and still have trouble hiring. With an unemployment rate of less than 1%, it would seem hard to complain. But many here are still haunted by the memory of North Dakota's last oil boom and bust in the 1980s. Almost overnight, boomtowns morphed into debt-ridden ghost towns when the price of oil plunged.
When the boom came around the second time, there were a lot of us that said, oh my God, here we go again. You know, it's about standing above the fray and looking down and saying, what can we make out of this that will be sustainable?
Ten years ago, where we were standing right now, it was this was essentially called dry hole country. Now with the resource play and the technology that we have, it's a no-brainer. You're going to make a well. It's just how good a well are you going to make?
A concentration of those real prolific finds, and the rest of the country really experiencing an economic slump brought everybody here.
When my mom and dad went to North Dakota, I was hoping a job because they've been searching for such a long period of time, and to see them go there and not come back with anything, it was just, I mean, it would break their hearts. It would just destroy the family.
Okay, ready? Okay, and back in about 2008, the real estate industry really took a downturn. And so Ray and I were both working in the real estate industry, being I was an interior designer and he was a landscape designer, and we both ended up losing our jobs at the same time. Ray and I decided to go to North Dakota to try to find jobs. So we took off, drove 1,600 miles, and Ray got a job there.
What I do here is I work at a refinery. We refine natural gas and all the byproducts, and it's just a perfect job. As far as what you can make up here in the oil field business, you can probably easily make $200K if you got into the right job. This is my house that's slowly being built. Looking forward to it finally getting finished, and when it does, I can bring my family up here.
Living there is going to be definitely completely different than living here in California. I call it our gilded bubble. I have to prepare the kids from going from the state of instant gratification to the state of it's okay, you can do it tomorrow, or we'll have to do it on Saturday because we have to drive 3 hours to do it.
The reason why we chose to buy a house here was because renting is just incredible. If we were to rent a place like this, it would be $4,000 to $5,000 a month. To where buying, it's going to be $1,500.
I'm moving to a new area. You know, it's a new start, but it sucks leaving everything I've ever known behind.
We're gonna have a better life because we're gonna be together now, because right now we're not.
Hi, this is XL Cleaners. We are no longer accepting clothes for dry cleaning. We want our customers to know that we really appreciate your past support and we will miss you.
XL Cleaners was a family-owned, third-generation dry cleaning and laundry plant. This was our 63rd year in this business with family history. Boom cycles can be good, at first, until things get to speeding up too much and prices go up on housing, prices go up on food. We've had to jump wages in the last couple of years more than we've ever had to do it before. And eventually, if we would have went to where we would have been charging what we needed to make a healthy profit, people would have been paying $20 to get a coat clean, $20 to get a suit clean. If you can get a good price on an end of the year sale, you're gonna buy a coat, wear it for as long as you can, and throw it away. It doesn't pay to clean it. I'm not that emotional unless I'm by myself. I don't dwell on it because it just doesn't do any good. Well, we don't wake up every morning celebrating our great fortunes and saying today is the day we don't have to worry about it. Every day is a challenge for us, especially on making sure that we have a population that's going to remain here and have a quality of life.
Probably every one of these guys is probably from a different region. I know our driller over there is from California. You got people coming in from Florida, all over the country. It's not easy work though. First of all, you got to find a place to live.
This room is a typical room. It's the Jack and Jill, where it houses one person that shares the bathroom with the next person.
Facilities like this are where the oil industry houses and feeds many of the workers it's brought into North Dakota to get the oil out of the ground. Target Logistics, which operates this facility and 7 others in North Dakota, is currently on pace to house 1% of the state's entire population by the end of 2013.
The industry will tell you, a lot of people tell you that man camps are not or crew camps are not the long-term solution to the situation out here. You might get a lot of guys in these crew camps that they're in there 6 months, they can't get their families up here, and they get frustrated and they quit and go home.
There's no question that housing is in short supply, and not just in the oil country, by the way. It's really a statewide phenomenon at this point.
So when the last boom came through, it was open arms. We're gonna all build these big, subdivisions. That bust happened so fast that a lot of those units didn't get built, or they got built and they got left empty. So specifically in some of the larger communities that were more advanced and did that, they got left with tremendous debt, millions of dollars of debt. They paid their bill, but boy, they came to it with a whole different knowledge of what they were going to do this time.
One of the tools is to ask the industry to take care of the housing of their own employees. This is something that they were not used to doing.
We have said we're not going to let you walk away and leave us with debt this time. That's one of the ways that we're protecting ourselves. And so we welcome you, but you're going to have to invest and be part of our communities to get our attention.
This 20-inch blue pipeline is part of a $150 million state-backed project that's going to deliver municipal water to the Bakken oil field. Oil companies will buy this water and use it to send down into the hole and create fractures so that they can get oil out.
Infrastructure development like this is key to Williston's future. Oil executives are confident that the industry will be drilling thousands of wells a year for the next 10 to 15 years at least. And local officials say the water will help Williston diversify beyond the oil business. Because one thing seems certain, the oil will eventually run out, sooner or later.
At the end of the day, we'll have an infrastructure of water that can help us diversify our economy as oil tapers off.
And this time, North Dakota is taking steps to protect itself from an unexpected bust. 30% of the oil and gas taxes the state collects is going into a fund that can't be touched until 2017.
By the time it is accessible to the legislature, we're going to have well in excess of $1 billion in there, and that would help cushion that fall if a bust was to come about.
I'd rather create a situation that's maybe not the most beautiful place to live, and maybe you're in snow, knee deep, digging your car out, but at least I can be happy knowing that I'm the one and we're the ones that are providing the home for our kids.
It's almost like I could just imagine how a prisoner feels being locked up for 10 years and all of a sudden being released and then getting that breath of fresh air. It's not that I'm counting on the boom, but I know this is a boom. Talking to most people, the first 2 phases of this are going to last 8 to 10 years. After that is the 3rd phase, and that's just taking care of the existing platforms, and so that's where I'm at. And so 30 years from now, I'll still be in the same house with my wife, and hopefully my kids will be out. and that's it. This is where I'm going to make my new life.